Before we get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. I hope everybody is doing well. You guys, I cannot believe that it's almost August of 2022. Oh my goodness. Is August where you live at fall? Is that when it becomes fall? I know for us here in Florida, in August is when like some of us, maybe me, I may be talking about myself, like to bring out like the fall decorations and the pumpkin spice comes out everywhere. However, in August in Florida, it is still blazing hot. And July and August are our hottest months and our biggest power bills. So let me know if August is fall for y'all, because I'm ready for some fall, y'all. It's hot around here, okay? We need to calm everything down. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the story of Logan Mwangi. And this case took place in just last year of 2021 in South Wales. Now, Wales borders England, and then South Wales is obviously like the southern part of that. And this is a Patreon request. If you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon. My Patreon is for 18 and up. And over there, we talk about like personal story times. We go live over there. And then we have a $2 tier where we do like true crime videos that are not suitable for YouTube's terms and policies. And we also go over like crime scene photos and stuff like that. And that, along with my second channel, my Facebook and my Instagram, are always linked down in the description box if you want to come and check me out. So Wales is known to be a very welcoming area. People say it's affordable. It is a nice place to live. Wales has great schools, beautiful countryside stretching as far as the eyes can see, lots of places to explore, and full of friendly people. On March 16th of 2016, Angarad Williamson and Benjamin Mwangi welcomed a precious baby boy into the world at Princess Wales Hospital, and they named him Logan. Before we go any further, I want to stop and thank today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh delivers fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week so you can savor summer flavors right from home. Choose from 55 plus weekly options featuring seasonal, pre-portioned ingredients picked at peak ripeness. And you can update your delivery address and enjoy HelloFresh at your vacation destination with just a click. Plans are flexible, so they work with your ever-changing schedule. And my personal favorite lately is the fit and wholesome recipes that make it easy to eat well without sacrificing flavor so you can maintain your goals and feel good about your food choices. This month, my family got sick at home, and thankfully our HelloFresh came just in time. I had 3 delicious, well-balanced, nutritious meals that I didn't even have to think about. I didn't have to go grocery shopping for. I didn't have to worry about me getting enough protein and different macro and micronutrients. They were all delivered freshly to my front door. If you want to try HelloFresh, all you got to do is go to HelloFresh.com and use code ChristinaRandall16 and find out how you can get 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts today. Yes, just go to HelloFresh.com and use code ChristinaRandall16 and find out how you can get your free meals and free gifts today. Thanks again, HelloFresh. Logan Mwangi. Angarad was brought up quite lavishly. She was a stockbroker's daughter, and from what I could find, she was pretty spoiled. She went to a really elite private school. She had all the best clothes, never had to worry about money. She was in a filmmaking course and she got to go to a wonderful college. Benjamin Mwangi, who goes by Ben, there's not a lot out that I could find on his like younger or early life, but it is said that Ben is from Kenya and he worked as a bookmaker. Angarad, even though she was brought up with this lavish, nice life, she began to rebel. Shocker, right? She started to get into trouble. She moved out at a young age and she even stole her mom's credit card. She went on all these shopping sprees and she even stole her mother's car at one time. And Angarad just kind of seemed to think she was invincible even at a young age. Okay, so you guys are getting this picture here. Young girl, growing up, parents got money, the nicest and nicest of everything. May not have been held accountable in a lot of ways. Maybe she was, I'm not sure. It really just felt like she could do whatever she wanted to do. Now, shortly after Angarad and Ben brought Logan home, they split. They didn't make it too long and Ben moved out. Angarad, however, moved on very quickly and ended up marrying this other guy that was in the military. I read that Angarad was working at a post office that was by the military base, and there was also a bar there, and they met. Angarad and this man met at this bar. It is rumored that this guy that Angarad married in the military was abusive towards her and that it didn't last very long neither. The marriage didn't last and they got a divorce. So now you see this pattern that Angarad has at this point. From there, Angarad said that she enjoyed her life as a single mom. She would tell people that she poured all of her heart and soul into her precious little boy, Logan, which is what she should have been doing. She talked about how sweet he was and how precious his laugh was. And Logan loved his grandmother too, Angarad's mother. She would come and get him all the time. He would go running up to her with his open arms and he would spend the night with her all the time. And Angarad, Logan's mother, said that she was a needy personality. She needed a lot of love and attention as a person and as a mother, and Logan really gave it to her, like most little boys do. If you guys are not a boy mom, or if you are a boy mom, you know, little boys love their moms. They love to hug them and tell them they're pretty and want to be affectionate with them all the time. And that is exactly what Logan was to his mother. I mean, it was just them two for a long time. As Logan continued to grow, he had big, beautiful eyes, olive skin tone, and soft, little curly hair. He had a cute little smile that showed his teeth, an adorable little laugh, and he had a sweet and gentle temper. It was said that he didn't get mad. He was just like a sweet little boy, a precious little angel that just needed to be protected. Things seemed to be going okay for quite a while, but then in 2019, Angarad started a relationship with a man named John Cole. Now, John Cole had quite the reputation. He had a lot of trouble with the law, and he also was known to be a liar and a cheater because at the time that he started dating Logan's mom, he was already in a relationship, like actually living with a woman, and he began dating Angarad, and before you know it, she got pregnant with this very, very bad boy or bad man's, child. And I'm not saying at that time like he's a bad man, but like the bad boy image. Well, that was him. John was also known to have a very loud mouth and a very foul mouth. Like he was known as this aggressive, foul mouth, loud, cussing, yelling, don't care about nobody or nobody's feelings type of guy. I don't know what she saw in him, but we're going to get there. Well, one of the things that she may have saw in John was that John was actually raising his stepson. Now, his stepson's name is Craig Mulligan. And at this time, he was 9 years old. And John was raising his stepson and had been raising him since he was 9 months old. So he had this little boy like this was his child. Okay, 11-year-old little boy like his child. And I would just have to assume that this made Logan's mom see him in another light, or maybe she thought he was going to be this amazing dad to Logan. So at this point, it's Logan and his mom and John and his 11-year-old stepson who he raised as his own. And then now Logan's mom is pregnant with John's child. Now, Logan's father, Ben, allegedly tried to come around and tried to see him, and he did get to see him for quite a while. But then when John came into the picture, things get hazy. It is said that John created a lot of drama and did not want Ben to see his son, and it just became too difficult for Ben. I'm not sure. I don't want to put too many words in Ben's mouth, but for whatever reason, Ben quit seeing Logan. And when he quit contact with Logan, Logan went off to be with his mom and her new baby and her new boyfriend and then their stepson, and he wouldn't see him again for a long time. Now, John was quite aggressive to little Logan. He really took out all of his frustrations and angers on this little boy. And Craig, his son or stepson, did as well. Now, see, Craig looked at John as a god. He actually called his father, and I'm just going to call him his father. I know it's technically his stepfather, but he's raising him like his own. You get it, okay? He actually considered his father a god or a godlike person. And so therefore, Craig, little 11-year-old, and would go on to be 12-year-old and 13-year-old, he cussed and had a foul mouth too. And I'm not talking about just saying some cuss words. I'm talking about he spoke nasty and said whatever he wanted. He didn't care whose feelings that he hurt at 11 years old. Anyway, so now Craig ended up being aggressive towards little Logan as well. So now you got these two guys picking on this little baby. And as time went to go on, they became more and more and more aggressive with little Logan, with nobody really having eyes on Logan because the father now is out of the picture other than his mother, who wasn't really doing anything. I mean, she had had a little girl now with John. And so now she has a little girl with him and she didn't want to leave him. So she just kind of let things happen the way that they were happening. After 2020, when she had her little girl with John, Angarad said that she was a good, loving mother. But neighbors said different. Neighbors would go on later to say that even though she told everybody she was this loving mother to Logan and her kids, they could literally hear her screaming at this little boy. Now, at this time in 2020, he's 4. Okay, I don't know if y'all have ever had a 4-year-old before, but they can get into things, right? They're learning how to navigate through life. However, the neighbors said that they would hear her screaming horrible things and names to this precious little 4-year-old baby. John and Angarad would just go on to say, we were just really strict parents. We had ways of disciplining Logan when he did things wrong. You know, like we would make him do push-ups or do laps and stuff like that. Like it was fine. But then there were other people that said no, they would make him go stand out in the yard whenever the sun was beaming hot, almost butt naked until he was completely sunburned red and crying. And I also don't understand, if all of these people saw and heard this, why didn't they call somebody or get involved? And this is where I should tell y'all, if you see something, say something. But nevertheless, nobody said anything. On August 16th of 2020, Logan's mother rushed him to the hospital. When she got there, she told them that he had fell down the stairs and she thought that he had dislocated his shoulder. After further inspection on little precious Logan, they had found out that his arm was actually broken. The medical staff had major suspicions that something bad was going on, and they got CPS involved. And so from here, CPS started coming out to the house, questioning and trying to keep an eye on Logan and the other kids and seeing what was going on. In January of 2021, just a few months after the hospital incident, Logan's mother called 101. Now, 101, from what I could find over in Wells, is a non-emergency cop hotline or the police hotline. It's kind of like we have 911 here, and then the 101 is the non-emergency. And so Logan's mom called the 101 hotline and said, hey, Craig, who is the stepson, who was almost 13 at the time, admitted to her that he broke Logan's arm. Now, remember when he had just went to the hospital, allegedly fell down the stairs? Well, now at this point, Craig is telling Angarad, I broke his arm. And it was so sad because Logan thought Craig, his big brother, was so cool. If any of you guys have ever had a smaller child and a much older brother, typically that smaller child just, oh my gosh, anything the bigger kid does is so funny, so amazing, so wonderful. I mean, they just look up to them like it's the most wonderful thing. And that is how Logan looked up to Craig. But that is not how Craig looked at little Logan. He looked at little Logan like, an animal that needed to be tortured. And that is another thing. It is said that Craig enjoyed hurting animals. He would hurt cats, he would hurt frogs, he would hurt puppies, anything that he could get his hands on. After Angarad made this phone call and CPS came back into the home, they ended up removing Craig from the home and they put him in a foster home, which this made John irate. He was infuriated. Craig was his son. How can you get rid of my son and you keep your son here? He was not happy about it, by no means. What Angarad didn't know at this time, or maybe she did know, was that the foster parents that were keeping Craig labeled him a little monster. They had all kind of stories to tell. They said that he actually came across two girls that were in their neighborhood, and he tried to talk them into playing a game of murder. And he wanted them to like get inside these big black bags. And the little girls were terrified. I mean, they ran off. And then the foster parents, they were pretty happy when he ended up leaving their home because he was just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, yelling, kicking, screaming, cussing, and it scared them. And allegedly, Craig also told the foster parents that he wanted to kill Logan. It was also said that he had like a little bit of a lisp too when he talked, but Craig did not like him. And I wonder if he got that from John. In June of 2021, they removed Logan from the CPS registry. So CPS said, okay, we don't need to check on him anymore. He seems to be doing good, seems to be thriving. We don't need to bother with this too much anymore. And then on July 21st of 2021, Logan tested positive for COVID. Now, because of this, Logan's mom said that she needed to isolate him. So she put him in a room all by himself where he couldn't be around anybody. I can't imagine sticking a 5-year-old in a room and telling him he has to be isolated for 10 days without, especially too if he was sick, regardless if he was sick or not. But you think about a child that's sick too, that just needs their mommy, just needs loves and hugs and cuddles and attention. And they put him in a room and they shut the door. They put a baby gate up at some point so they could at least see him. But he was isolated away from everybody. On July 26th, just 5 days after the positive COVID test, Craig returned back home. Now, the exact chain of events after this is blurry because there's so many different versions of what they said happened, but physical attacks on Logan started. On July 29th, he had a collarbone that was broken and left untreated. Now, imagine a 5-year-old little boy with a broken anything. This baby had had so many broken bones at this point, but a broken collarbone that was left untreated. Well, on July 29th, a social worker came into the house to just check because of all the stuff that was going on and Craig being, home. Well, because he had COVID, she wasn't allowed to see him and she didn't push it any further. I mean, she was probably like, okay, COVID, let me get out of this house. But so she left. But then on July 31st, Logan's mom, Angarad, would call 911. And this is when things get so bizarre. Listen to this.
Take a breath, because I can't understand you when you're crying. Where are you?
5, Lower Lansdale, Freddie the Song.
Lower what, sorry?
Lower Lansdale, Freddie the Song. Said somebody is not here.
Okay. Who's not there?
My son, he's alive. He's not here.
Okay, take a breath. When did you see him last?
I tucked him in the bed last night and I've just got up for my son and the other one's not here. Logan!
Okay, take a breath. He's 5 and he's gone. Can you see any
Logan! Logan!
I need you to speak to me, not just shout. I know it's really full on and it's really scary. I need you to tell me. What's his name? Is his name Logan?
Logan Williams.
And he's 5. Is he 5, did you say?
He's 5, please.
Okay. Tell me what he looks like, please.
He's a little mixed race boy. He's just got his spidey pajamas on.
The cops get there. There's some body camera footage where she's absolutely flipping out. Check this out.
I have to see my biological son.
Angarad, look.
He's unconscious. Why is he unconscious?
Listen, I don't know. Right now, the best thing...
All I'm getting is answers like this. Why is no one telling me what's going on?
I don't know. Sweetheart, look.
He's
please.
my baby. What's going on?
You need to calm down. I need to do the job.
So they're trying to calm her down. This is obviously a mom in distress. Where would this little baby have gone? He's 5 years old. Did he run away? What's going on? There's also footage from the neighbors' houses that are showing John and Craig outside calling Logan's name. They're like out there saying, Logan, Logan. Listen to this. And obviously, Logan's mom, Angarad, is an absolute wreck. She does not know where her baby is. She's flipping out. The cops are trying to calm her down. More cops come and they began to look for Logan. Well, it did not take them long at all. And actually about 300 yards away from the house that they're staying in. It's not exactly a house. We would call it a duplex. Nevertheless, their home, about 300 yards from it, they found Logan's little lifeless body in this like river thing. I mean, literally less than 1,000 feet away. Within less than an hour, they found this baby's body. When they got his body to the hospital, because when they saw him, they realized he wasn't alive. Immediately, they could tell. I mean, he wasn't moving. He looked really beat up. They found that he had 63 external injuries. 63. That is unbelievable. And on a 5-year-old, disgusting. He had damage to his internal organs. It is said that his liver was ripped. He had fractured skull in many different places. He had bruising on his lungs, on his liver. He had bruising on his brain. The doctors said that his body was in the state of being in a horrible car accident. I mean, this was not just somebody that fell or a kid that fell or got lost or even got beat up. Like this was extensive injuries. Now, of course, because of the extensive injuries on this baby, and you can only imagine too with all the CPS background, they called for an investigation. Well, they began to question the family and they just didn't know anything that happened. They went to bed that night. They woke up the next morning and he was not there. They couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, the cops went around to the other homes and found security footage. On the security footage that they found, that in the middle of the night, 2 people, which looked like John and Craig, left carrying what looked like a little body out and headed down past the building, down the road towards the water. And not only that, then they saw, as they continued to watch the security footage, the light in Logan's bedroom go on and off, which that told them there that Logan's mom had to have known about it because she was still there turning the light on and off and trying to get things cleaned up or whatever she was doing. They ended up getting a warrant for their arrest and going back to the home to arrest them, and they flipped out, acting like they had no idea why they were being arrested.
Arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Logan.
What?
We're going to arrest you as well. Alright? Hold on. Calm down.
Why am I getting arrested? Tell me now what happened to my son.
But when they got into the jail, they all began to tell on each other. Although this is the issue, they all told a bit of a different story.
On the floor, and rather than grabbing his body, she's picked him up by his t-shirt. It's ripped.
None of it is true.
Why would John lie?
Because John's a liar. Because he doesn't want to get done for murder. I wish I never let this man into my son's life.
She's blaming me and my dad for everything when we haven't done anything. Neither has my dad. Now, I'm just sick of this. She's just saying whatever she wants to get out of the cells.
But it seems like somewhere what could have happened, I don't even think I believe this. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all what could have happened, and then I'm going to tell y'all just what I think. What could have happened and what is in these stories is that little Logan spilt some drink on a stereo system and Craig flipped out and hit him or kicked him or something like that. And then it gets fuzzy from there, okay? But listen, What I think is, I think they were beating up on that baby for a long time. And I think they just finally hit him one good time. I think for those extensive injuries, they had been beating up on that baby for a long time. They were using that precious little baby with that beautiful smile as a punching bag. And the mother allowed it. And it's horrible.
If he's unconscious, he needs me. He needs warm clothes. He needs mum. He needs his look.
It's okay.
I feel so useless, Dad.
I know.
It's just like you can't believe anything she says. Like, who are you covering for? They ended up going to trial. It did not take them long to get found guilty. They all three got what is considered over there life sentences. One got 28 years, the other one got 29 years, and then the little boy got 15 years. Now, at first, his name was not released to the public because he was a minor, but the judge was over it, honey. They said, you want to act like an adult? I'll put this in my own words. You want to be an adult? You want to be a monster? They released all of his information, his name, the videos and everything, which I think that they should. You've seen the videos. The little boy, I think he was raised by a monster. He became a monster. He was a monster. They're all monsters in my opinion. I did do some research, and from what I understand, and y'all let me know down below if I'm wrong, they won't even serve those full sentences. I heard a news reporter say that the ones that got in the 28 and 29 years, they may serve 10, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me. Obviously, the father has been so upset. Ben, you guys remember Ben? He's been doing all kinds of work and trying to get Logan's Law put into place. So the father, a biological father or parent would be notified if there was a CPS case opened with their child because he had no idea. So that's what he says. But it's just absolutely devastating. So sad and so devastating that this baby was just living in that house full of torture. I also saw somewhere online where they were saying that they starved him too. I could not find that in documents, but I did see that on a news channel that he was starved as well. But I just can't believe it. And the thing that really just got me was the acting of the mother. The Logan, he needs his mother. He needs me. Like, how manipulative and calculated do you have to be able to go that far, throwing yourself around crying and knowing dang good and well that you let that baby go through everything that he went through? So what do you guys think? Do you think the sentence was harsh enough? I know a lot of people think that America's sentences, criminal sentences, are way too harsh, but then you see cases like this and you're like, should have got more time. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you guys have heard about this. I'm so curious what y'all have to say. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like it. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. I haven't said that in a long time. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Love you guys. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost.